Goals are the cornerstone of personal development, but they don't always work. How many times have you made a list of goals and they just haven't turned out the way you thought, or you haven't accomplished those goals? Stay tuned to Distinctions for Life, and today we'll talk about some reasons that goals don't always work. I've studied personal development for years. When I started Distinctions for Life, I knew I was going to do some things different. And one of those things was goals. Most goal-setting things talk about, making a list of the things you want to own, how much money do you want to make, where do you want to live, what kind of job do you want to have, those things. And to me, at best, those things were shallow. At worst, I don't know. But I knew I was going to do those things different. And the other problem with them is they often don't work. So you make a list of the Ferrari you want to own, and then a year later, you don't have a Ferrari. Or you make a list of the job you want to have, but then again, a year later, you don't have that job. So why doesn't it work? Why don't those things work? And what's the key to making them work? To me, the key to making goals that work are that they have to come out of you. They have to come out of your heart, out of your soul, out of that core of who you are. And that when you have your goals coming out of that core, when they're coming out of what's important to you already, then you're primed to accomplish those goals. And if those goals are hard and you have to make sacrifices and you have to endure pain, you're going to do it anyway because they're coming out of the core of you. They're coming out of who you are and what is most important to you. The second thing is you got to have big enough whys. Having a goal by itself isn't enough. You have to have a reason to have that goal. You have to have a why. And that why needs to be big. The bigger the goal, the bigger the why, the bigger the reason to continue to do it when it gets to get tough, okay? So you need to have a list of whys. As a matter of fact, these whys are so important that I would suggest if you do have a list of goals that you write down why you want to accomplish each goal and have a good, strong, emotional, from your core reason for having each of those goals, because that will keep you moving when you run into trouble. And a why isn't always in the positive. Sometimes it's in the negative. Like if you have a fitness goal, you want to lose weight and get into shape. Well, one of the negative reasons, one of the whys, is because if you don't get into shape, you're going to get old and decrepit. You're not going to be able to keep up with your kids. You're going to have a heart attack early. Your life's going to end. You're going to have a poor quality of life. Those are all negative things. But they are whys, and they are things that will propel you to keep exercising even when you don't want to. So it's important to have positive whys and negative whys. So keep that in mind. Okay, so for the action steps today, if you have a list of goals, I'd suggest you look over your list of goals and you'd say, is this something that's important to me? And if it is important to you, then you need to write down why it's important to you. You need to write those whys next to each goal. Why is this important? Why must I accomplish this? What will it cost me if I don't accomplish this? Now, if you don't have a list of goals, stay tuned to the resources section, and I'll give you a resource that'll help you get a list of goals. This week's resource is once again Tony Robbins. And to make a list of goals, I'd suggest you do his goal setting workshop as part of his 30-day personal power program or his 14-day edge program. The 30-day personal power costs like $260. The edge program costs around $200. You can find both of them on our resource page for Tony Robbins. And just click through and you can find either one of those programs. And as part of those programs, you'll set a goals. They do a whole lot more than that, but they also set goals. They have a goal setting workshop in them. Well, living from your core and doing what's most important to you, that's living life to the fullest too. So until next time, I'm Ron Davis, and live life to the fullest.